think some of you still have time to really do this, to engage. Then the last thing I will say before on this, the first stage of my presentation is start writing. That's when you should start writing. If you don't follow this, don't start anything. No. Yeah. So any question before I move to the second stage? Phase of my presentation.
All right. Please, if you have question, you can just drop it in the comment section,
Okay.
or you can ask. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So the second stage is write the proposal. Yeah. So I'll just take you through some of these things. Yeah. So the first I have here is research title. So in order to write your proposal, you need a title or a topic. But I will tell you not to really bother yourself so much about having research title. Now, what is paramount is your research idea. I started writing a paper from my PhD. I started in I think August. I'll be submitting it very soon. In fact, it's just now that I started. We you don't have to bother yourself about, but you can brainstorm on things, and when you just have it tight, continue to write, because continue we refine your title, and you can have more than one title. But speaking research idea, yeah, before you finish writing your proposal, the title will be refined and you will know which one to really use. Yeah. So, but for research title, what is very important is, in your title is your title must actually contain key phrases. So if I'm working on climate change, environmental change, looking at things, people who have been affected by climate change. Yeah. So if I'm working on something like that, climate change is a key phrase in my work. And if I'm writing a paper, yeah, or I'm using paper now because of my stage. But if I want to write a proposal, like the proposal I use for my application, you will see climate change in the title as a phrase. So take note of key phrases, key words, key themes, because they should be included in your title. Yeah. So, and when you are writing your research title, it should be very clear. Yeah. In fact, it's better at that stage to make it as clear as possible, because they are not in your mind. You can imagine they are processing your application in the US and you are in Ibadan. So they will not contact you and say, what do you mean by that? They don't want to be guessing. So be clear as possible. Be very clear. It's better, sometimes we want something catchy, something compelling, that when they see, they will say, wow, this is better to just write something simple that they can understand, that you will not leave them guessing. Don't let them guess. Don't let them say, is he talking? Is he trying to say it like this? No. There's no time. You are not the only one applying. So when they see your title, they know what you are writing about. So be clear as possible. So keep it short. Max 15 words. Let it be very short. I think in UI, I remember, because I wanted to start my PhD in UI. I remember when I submitted my proposal. Of course, I got the admission, but they summoned me to the office. I faced a panel. They were telling me that, do I want to confuse them? Because I've read a lot of things. So my title was very hard. If you have not read what I've read, you may not understand it. But that shouldn't be, it's not a good title. Someone who has not read what you have read to understand your title. Keep it short, keep it clear, let it be clear, 15 words. And I think in UI, they don't use colon. UI doesn't like colon. And that's the benefit of checking university websites. In my school now, here, we use colon. UI does not like colon. They don't want to see colon in your topic. They just want your topic to be just the impact of this on this. That's all. Yeah. So, and try to use language appropriate for your audience and field of study. Yeah, so and that's why you need to familiarize yourself with some of these journal articles. That's where you will see the language, and because you won't get that in the classroom, it's not possible. Some of our lecturers, they have not even updated their lecture notes eh, for over 10 years. So you have to really know the language to use that is appropriate for your audience. Because when they work very well, so be familiar. So these are things that are very important in research title, and you should take note of that. Yeah. So the next thing that I also that is very important in your proposal after you have written your title is to have a summary or abstract. It's also called abstract. Yeah. So and in your research summary, it should state clearly the significance of your study. And the purpose of summary is some people they don't have time. Now, let me give you an example. And when I was with African Union, I saw this very well. In fact, the person that was reviewing the application, we were living together. So it was an application for maybe like a young Africans or something like that. Yeah, so it was showing me the applications, different how people wrote, what they were asked to write, things like that. I discovered that because he had to review so many applications, you can imagine your own is the number, maybe number like the PhD I got. I later heard that we were 160 and they were looking for one. You will know it's only God that can help you. And of course, if you have also done your homework very well. 160, and I was the only one. Now, you can imagine my application is on number 159. And the person is already frustrated. Maybe he has the first application, they're just writing nonsense, and the person, you have to. So the summary is to compel the reviewer to to pay attention to your application. So you need to be very careful there. In fact, when I got accepted and I came, my supervisor told me things, all that he said my first paragraph was compelling, that she couldn't stop reading it. The first paragraph of my motivation letter, I said, knowing what is not fully known, partially known, or wrongly conceived lies at the heart of my application. You see, she told me that blew her up, that she just wanted to read more. So at the summaries of your research proposal, you just have to be very clear. State clear research questions, which we'll still talk about later. Yeah, it must have your research methodology, because it's just like the summary of what you want your reader or your audience or the person reviewing your application to pay attention to in your entire work, entire proposal. So it's like to provide a snapshot of your entire proposal, and it should not be more than 200 words. Yeah. So, and when you are handing your summary, try and hand it with a statement that emphasizes your expected outcomes. Yeah. So let it reflect the significance of your work. Why do we need to fund your work? Yeah, and you need to say it without having to exaggerate. They have been researching this thing for 20, 30 years. So there's nothing you can say. They will know. So don't exaggerate. In fact, I remember in my proposal, I wrote something like, to the best of my knowledge. Because as we will talk about it later, research gaps. I wanted to state clearly my research gap. So I didn't put it in such a way that I know it all. Because they have been doing it, some of them even before I was born. So I said, to the best of my knowledge, I was trying to convince them that I know what I'm doing, at the same time to be humble. So please take note of this when you are writing your research summary. It's the first thing that will compare them. Some application and at summary level. Once they see the summary, they know that whatever you are writing is rubbish or is something that they should pay attention to. They will just put it aside. They don't have time. So then for your research proposal, as you are designing it, you also need to provide a background. So after your research summary, you need to give a background. And in your background, the first thing that should come is to state the problem research intends to address. Yeah, but you won't state it like a problem. Like when they say research problem, it's not something that you now say, people have been dying of HIV. No, you may not need to say it like that. And that's why you need to also get familiar with all these journal articles so that you will see how to coin it. But when they are reading it, they will know that this is the issue that that your research intends to address. They need to see it. Yeah, because when you have done that in your background, then you can state the question, specific question your work will investigate. Yeah, and also why your research is important and how it will contribute to exactly to find gap. Yeah, so because you need to highlight the gap your research will fill. When you have stated the significance that my research is important because of this, because of this, then you will now tie it with existing literature and when you are combining your research significance with research like existing literature, be careful not to rubbish what other people have done. You can imagine the proposal I submitted. I didn't know I cited the director. What if I have rubbish is our work? So you are only building up on what other people have done. So you are going to state clearly existing knowledge that according to Oluwatoyin and Adewale, this is what they have done. However, there's little attention given to this. Iwale, Oluwatoyin, let me see people that are here. Oladejo, Victor, that have done. In fact, when they do your work like that, because nobody for 8 months. I was in Burkina Faso, I was in Niger, I was in Nigeria, I was in Benin, I was in Ghana, I was in Togo for my research, my field work. Now, someone right there, you now rubbish my work. I won't be happy. So, but when I see that someone says this is worthy of note, however, I want to do this. That's very good. Yeah, to do. So discuss the existing literature and critically explain key findings and arguments. Yeah. So there are findings. Wanola argues that so and so is so. Yeah. So gap. Like research contribution. Yeah. So that is very important in your background as you design your proposal. Then another thing that must come in your research proposal is objectives and hypothesis or research question. Now, objective, when I talk about research objective, you are talking about the main objective to identify key factors that contribute to healthy diet in urban areas of Ibadan. That's just your objective, action oriented. But it's different from then when you have research objective, then you also need to have research questions or hypotheses. Yeah, in some maybe field of study, they use more hypothesis and like they combine the two, hypothesis and research questions. Some field of study is just research questions. So that's why you need to also visit the schools that you're applying to know what is obtainable, what do they actually want. Do you have to add it or you just leave it? But in most cases, when you didn't find what they're actually looking for, it's better to just leave it at research questions. You may not need to add hypothesis. Have your research objective, then get your research, provide your research questions. If you don't know whether you are to for research question, it is open-ended, it is broad. Yeah, a broad and open-ended question. Yeah, so is exploratory. You just want to explore. Like for example, what factors contribute to healthy living or healthy diet in urban areas of Ibadan? That's research question. You can see that it's broad. What factor? You are not being specific. What factors contribute to healthy diet in Ibadan? But for hypothesis, you are specific. It's a specific testable prediction or statement about relationship between variables. For example, healthy diet in Ibadan, in urban areas that have healthcare services are more likely to be healthy than area health care services. You are being specific. You want to test something. You want to test two variables. Yeah. So, but in research proposals, if they don't focus on research objective, yeah, which is action based, then your research question. And take note, your research objective should be something that is specific also. Yeah, in the sense that you are saying, I want to identify key factors that contribute to healthy diet in urban areas. Very specific. Something that you can measure, measurable. I think there's this acronym called SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Yeah, and these you will find out as you engage existing work. You will know what you have done. Yeah, you'll be able to see that. Okay, if I also do this thing, I think if I also do this thing, I think it's time bound. You'll be able to know that. Then another thing is research method. Yeah, another research method basically you just want to describe the research approach you will take. Whether it's experimental, you have to be very clear. And in most cases, though it's not compulsory, you can also state why and I want you to note something. As you are engaging literature, existing knowledge, pay attention to something. Is it all these components? You must also pay attention to it when you are reading other people's work. You will pay attention to the key findings, engaging with journal articles or books that people have published. You pay attention to what exactly is the significance of this study. Pay attention to how they coined that significance. Pay attention to what are the questions that this work is asking and trying to investigate. Pay attention to the the method. So, for instance, if you have read 10 articles, in order to write the research method of your own proposal, if existing knowledge on your ideas is just, you cannot just find 10 journal articles, you will pay attention to all the research methods or approach they employ for their work. Then you will think, do I have to use the same research approach for my own? Because maybe your own context might be different. Someone carry out something in urban areas, you want to carry out in rural area. The work was done in Africa. So you have to pay attention. Okay, this research approach, and that's what makes your work to be, to be original and attractive, because they will see that, oh, you are not just, the significance of your work also lies in your research method, because your research method can also convey the significance of your work. It will push the boundary of research, of approach that people have been using. Maybe for that work, they have only been using one particular approach. You want to say, okay, I will use that approach and I will combine it with this approach. So that's how you write but you just have to know and describe your research approach that you want to take. The thing is, you how do you want to collect the data? Is it survey? Is it experiment? So you have to outline it, and you explain how the data will be selected, and also how you will analyze your data. So this is very important as you design your research. Second to the last slide I have here is research significance. I've already said it. Let's say part of your research significance is to also push the boundary of research methods. You will put it there that, case, yeah, you want to use this, and this is the reason why you want to use it. So it has to be significant. And most of the time, your significance is actually in two parts. Is it going to hard? So you are trying to make a compelling case for the value and the impact of your research in the area of academics and also societal value. Yeah, one of the things I notice now is that funding bodies, they are, how do I put it? They want research that will contribute something meaningful to the society. Yeah, so they're taking it very serious now. That even before you finish what exactly, what benefits will people or your society derive from this your research undertaking? So you can state that clearly in your work that, oh, this my work has academic value and it also has societal value. Yeah. And lastly, your references. Do not plagiarize. I've read some works and someone sent a work to me, a project, and I was just like, where did you get all these things? Is it from your head? Is very terrible. It's an offense, and I believe you know. Yeah, people who you have put in their effort to the work, and you are citing it. You are using their work without citing, without referencing it. So please be intentional about this. Cite your work properly. So references is just like a list of relevant and up-to-date sources that you have referenced throughout the proposal. If it's your own, and of course, when you're writing your proposal, it's not everything that you must take from existing knowledge. Let's also hear your voice. Let's hear your voice. Let's say you have written a paragraph of 300 words. Let's hear your voice, and they will know if it is your voice. Yeah. So, but when you are writing the summary aspect of your section of your research design, that one you won't cite to, and it must be your own word. It must be. So when you are writing summary, because you will not cite there, it should be something that is flowing from your own thought, because you will not cite. So that when they want to check it, they will know that it's original, that you have not lifted a, a phrase or a paragraph from a work and you now use it as summary, whereas you did not cite it. Yeah, so someone said plagiarism when it's like when you write a paragraph and you cite one person. How can you write a paragraph of 300 words and it's only one person? That's plagiarism. So a sentence can come from 5 authors. A sentence, and that's what make your word to be original. So the sentence you are putting together, and let me tell you, it's not that you write word for word. If you are writing, you cannot write word for word like, okay, what I put there now, a list of the most relevant and up-to-date sources that you have referenced throughout the proposal. You see, this is word for word. Are you getting it? When you are writing, you won't put it there word for word most of the time. Try as much as possible that when you read, you translate it to your own word and let it come out, original. So that makes it possible to have a sentence that is coming from 5 authors. Yeah, so I'm going to stop there. But before I end, I will say the last thing, which is the third phase, which is now submitting your proposal or maybe presenting. So there are different ways you can market yourself. Number one is when you check this university website, there can be open-ended opportunity in the sense that no specific focus, no project, that you just have to write your proposal to fit the existing project. No, they just say, oh, they need PhD students. They may give a topic, they may not give. So if they don't give a specific topic, you can send your research ideas. But if they give specific topic, you have to look at your own proposal and find a way of adjusting it to suit what they are looking for. So you won't just send your research proposal like that. But in a situation where they didn't give a specific topic, you are free to send the research design research proposal that you have already written. And another way to also send it is you can find professors. I have told people several times, write code mail to professors. There is a friend of mine who will be going to traveling now to Canada. That's how he got it. He just send a mail to the professor. So, but when you are sending a mail to a professor, because even me that I'm doing PhD now, I'm very busy. Not to talk of a professor. So attach your research proposal and if possible, attach your CV. Yeah. So when you are writing a code mail, oh, I am this, oh, I've just finished my undergraduate, oh, I saw you, I read your work, and I discovered that we have something in common. I have done this over the past 2 years. In fact, during my undergraduate research project, I researched this topic and I've developed my ideas over the years. I find attached the research proposal. Yeah, so, and of course, you will tell the person, okay, you want to find out if there's a funding because there are fundings that are not advertised. There are professors who have funding and you will not see it on the website. So apart from sending your proposal directly to an advertised opportunity, you can also look for professors who are in your field and write a code mail and attach your research proposal that you want to know if there is an opportunity, maybe in their lab, in their group, then when you attach your research proposal, they will know that you are serious. And I've done it before. Yeah. So that's that about what you do with your research proposal. Send it out, talk to professors and let them know what you are doing. Yeah. So I think I will stop here. Any question?
So if we have any question, we can just drop it. Thank you so much, Mr. Demola, for the wonderful section today. I believe many of us, can you just send a like if you have been following since? All right, that's great. All right, thank you so much for your time. And please, for those of us that attend, all right, thank you so much. You can also drop your comment in the comment section. All right, so this is the first class that we'll be
Good
having with
afternoon.
Mr. Demola. And tomorrow also, we are going to have the second part the same time. And then is very, very busy. Just have to make up time to be here. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. And all right, that is great. And please, if you attend today's class, kindly drop your name in the comment section before you leave. Thank you, everyone. So further information will be passed on the WhatsApp page. Thank you, sir.
All right. You're welcome. Should I go ahead and answer the
Yes, you
question,
can just stand up,
or
sir.
is there any question? Okay,
Or
so
if they have question, I'm going to compile it. Maybe we treat the question tomorrow.
okay. All right. So thank you guys for um your time. Yeah, I look forward to hearing good things about you. I want to encourage you that you shouldn't give up. Yeah, it's a journey that will require your resilience. It's a journey. If you know how to call on God, trust God to help you. Yeah, the world is becoming competitive, and you just have to also rely on God, yeah, to carry you through. So I can assure you that if you do this, you will get opportunities. Actually, you will get good opportunities abroad. Yeah. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
All right.
Thank you. So please, if you have any question, you can just drop it on the WhatsApp page. We are going to treat the question tomorrow. Then next week we are going to be having another section with a scientist. He's a data scientist, and it's going to be very, very interactive. So thank you.